Hey everyone, it's Nicole Nalasad and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been quite a while since I was here, but I am back now with a project that I made actually for the Big Picture Classes blog today, featuring some techniques that I did in my Stitch It class that's available right now at Big Picture Classes. And I'll leave a link at the bottom of the post about that. So I'm actually using the October Hip Kits for this page. There's a really great mix of papers that really go well together. And I knew I really wanted to use a lot of the different papers because both sides kind of work on the papers that I've chosen. So papers in the kit are from Pebbles. There's some Amy Tangerine in there. And what else is in there? Some really pretty ones. Who is the other one? Pebbles, Amy Tangerine. It's just lost. I've just lost it for now. But anyway, what I've done is I've just cut some 2-inch strips of paper. And as you saw there, I took my scoreboard and I just scored each side of it by, I believe it was 1/4 of an inch. And I've just folded up the edges so you can see the reverse pattern. And now I'm just stitching down each of those edges. It just adds a little bit of nice texture to my project. And I'm actually pulling up the stitched down parts so it kind of is raised a little bit. And I'm just going to layer them across the left side of my page, all the different strips, just alternating the colors and the patterns and going from the top to the bottom. And I do realize that I missed one, so I'm going to go back and just really quickly do one more and stitch that as well. And the reason I'd stitched it before I put it on my project is because I knew I might want to switch some of the patterns around, so that gave me the chance to do that in case I didn't like how I had them placed out. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive, and this is just a dot runner, cheap dot runner that I have. And I'm just adding a really small amount, not a lot, because I'm going to do one little last row of stitching in the middle of those strips. So you will see that I do that in a few minutes. So I'm just kind of peeling up those extra little bits of the paper there on the side, and I'm going to end up trimming off my excess after I do that row of stitching just down the center. So I just use a Janome sewing machine for this. It's a basic sewing machine, but it works really well for paper. And I have sewn fabric projects too, but that's not my specialty. I'm more of a paper sewer, but it's a really good machine. It's lasted me a long time, so I really like it. So you can see I'm just adding a little bit more texture by adding some stitching down those rows. And to be honest, I'm going to leave that side of the page pretty much the way it is. I had thought I would add some buttons or even some hand stitching with some white embroidery floss, but I felt like it was enough with the stitching through those pieces of paper that I'm going to leave it there on the side because it is kind of busy with all the patterns. And I have a recent selfie I took of myself here in our Canadian Thanksgiving that I'm going to use. It was a super hot day actually for Thanksgiving in Canada. I think we hit about 20 degrees, 22 degrees in Canadian temperature. So that's really warm for us. That is not normal. So we had to go outside. Me and my daughter went outside just in our backyard and took a couple pictures. And as you can see here, I'm just grabbing some embellishments from the kit. I'm using some of these. I'm going to use some of these frames here from the Pebbles frame. I call it the frame die cut set in the kit. Some really pretty frames, and there's also some really great die cuts in there too. And I have some pink paisley cedar lane. I'm just choosing some different embellishments from in that die cut pack. And this pack's really cool. It has like some clear embellishments and normal paper die cuts. So I really like the fact that they're mixed together like that. I tried to add some adhesive there in an easy way and didn't work. But when I use clear embellishments like this here, like these ones here, I just run them through my Xyron machine. I find that's the quickest way to get adhesive to the back, and you can't really see through. So it's like a vellum or something. It's really good for that. So you want to use your Xyron X for that. I think you can get them at Michael's for like 40% off if you get the coupon. So that's usually what I do. And they're really good. The X is also really good for things like smaller die cut shapes. Like if you have a Cameo or a Cricut and you have a smaller die cut shape you want to stick down, but liquid glue is just too messy, the X is good for that too. Anyway, I'm just going to add some stickers here. I really love these clear stickers. These are from Pink Paisley also, and they are really great. They have tons of different sentiments in the pack, and they have gold, white, and black, and so you get the full pack of that in the hip kit. And that's what I like about the hip kits is you get full packs of pretty much everything. You don't get like 2 of these and 2 of those and a little bit of this. You get full packages. You get, for the most part, I think we've had full packs of almost everything in the kit. So that's why I really, really like them. And I like a lot of embellishments, so for me that works great. This here is some pebbles. It's like, well, I think they call it, do they call it washi tape? But it's just like paper tape, washi tape basically, essentially. What I like about this book is it's really long. It's not thin little short strips. It's actually really long pieces, so don't mind me. I'm actually on my computer as I'm making this layout. And I really like these Dear Lizzie thickers in the kit. And I thought about using the word today, but truthfully I didn't think of my title until I'd already had almost all the other things placed on my page. But I like the word live, and I thought because there's a few different alphas in the kit that I would use the word live and then add in the word for today later on. This today here came from the Cedar Lane die cuts that are in the kit. So I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to use some of the Heidi Swap. It's like a teal glitter sticker. Teal glitter alphas that are in the kit. So I'm going to use that too for part of my title. And pretty much if it has glitter or it's sparkly, I like it. I never used to be really girly, but I find as I'm getting older, I'm getting girlier, which is kind of weird. I think most people are the opposite, but that is okay. Okay, what else am I going to do? So I'm going to grab some of these flower die cuts from this embellishment pack, and I'm just going to layer some in and around the photo and fill up that kind of that white space there just underneath. And I'm going to try to crowd, I guess, my photo to the left-hand side of the photo just to kind of embellish. And yeah, I think that's pretty much how it's going to go. I'm mixing up the clear die cuts with the paper die cuts. Tucking things under my title there a little bit. I think I added a little foam adhesive underneath there too. And yeah, of course, my foam photo, if you've been watching any of my videos, it's pop dotted, so I can kind of tuck things underneath. That's my favorite thing, is the pop dot. And I'm trying to add more glitter onto my page, as you can see here, but I end up not using that tag, even though that tag is so pretty with the wood grain and the glitter. It's fantastic. But I'm going to use a couple, I end up adding some black droplets of mist, and this is actually not Heidi Swap Color Shine. This is an old bottle of Tattered Angels Glimmer Glaze. A friend of mine, Christine Davidson, is the one that clued me in on it. It's kind of like a nail polish, and I've used it in my other videos you've probably seen. I really like it, and you can't get it anymore, so I'm kind of sad about that. And this bottle here, I think might be my last bottle, and I probably have less than a quarter of it left. So it's called Oil Slick by Tattered Angels. It's this glimmer glaze. It's so good, you guys. The dots don't fade into the paper, and it's kind of almost looks to me in real life like a little tiny enamel dots on your page. So if you find it in your local scrapbook store, message me. I will pay for you to ship me some. I need like 2 or 3 bottles of it, but I highly doubt anyone will have any. But yeah, if you do happen across it, it is really good. Anyway, I'm adding some enamel dots. These ones were Heidi Swap that were in the kit, so I'm going to add some of that. You can see I added some more clear stickers. I'm going to add this one here. This is by Pink Paisley also, just underneath my title. And I think I'm pretty much done my page for the most part. I think I have all the embellishments that I have. I toy around with the idea of adding some of these pebbles, die cuts. These floral ones seem to be the only ones I could get to work. It's kind of like half of a laurel wreath, I guess you could say, just to get a little bit more of that gold on the left side of my photo. And then I dug into my stash for some bling, which I think I'm going to bring back the bling, because remember a few years ago when Heidi swapped with was it Ranger or Advantis, I think it was, and she had all the bling shapes, bling everything. I bought a lot of it and I hoarded it, and I really need to use it up. So I'm going to add some enamel dots and some little tiny bits of bling to this, and then I think that's pretty much for my project. So I'm going to give you guys a couple close-ups of that stitching. You can just see the little bit of texture that it adds. That's like my favorite thing, is paper and stitching. So I probably will do this technique again because I've never actually folded it over and sewn like that, and I really like how it turned out. And then here's my completed project. So I just want to thank you all for sticking with me while I was missing from my YouTube channel. And if you want to see more of my work, head over to my website or my blog and check out my digital cut file store, justnix.myshopify.com. And I'll see you again very soon.